Welcome to our podcast, Bumps in the Night, Ghosts, Ghouls, and Hauntings. We are three like-minded women coming together with an interest in the unknown. We want to share stories and discoveries with you, dear listener. So won't you join us on our journey? This is episode 11, Haunted Vacations, Northwest USA.
Hi, I'm Mary.
I'm Brooke.
And I'm Sarah. Brooke's going to take it away today, but let's start first with our segment number 1, our What's Haunting Us This Week. Go for it, Brooke.
All right, well, I feel like I'm always bringing us down, but earlier in the week, I found out that my dentist that I have had since I was about 16 passed away.
Oh, no.
And I know he's just my dentist, but he was amazing. And he remembered everybody's names and their family members, and he cared. And that's why I'm still going to him, even though I live far away from him. And my mom messaged me the other day and she said, "What's your dentist's name?" And I told her, and then she's like, I think I saw something on Facebook. So when I met Derek, I had him start going to my dentist as well. And he also really likes him. So we were very sad earlier in the week, and it's still kind of a shock. I have a dentist appointment coming up in August. Probably still going to stick to the location, but now I have to look for somebody, and I just don't think I'm ever going to find somebody as amazing as this guy. So his name was Dr. Grossman. So I just have to give a little shout out to him. So kind of sad.
That
So
is sad.
I don't
I'm
mean
so
to bring us down, but
sorry.
yeah, that did haunt me this week.
I mean, that's hauntings aren't supposed to always be happy.
Yeah, no, that's true. And
That's
that's kind
true.
of what I was thinking. I'm like, I had
And
something
literally
written
haunting
down
you.
and I was like, no, I'm not going to talk about that because I talked about that in the last one. And I was, kind of wanted to mention that. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's hard when you
Mm.
lose something you really like.
Yeah, and he wasn't too terribly old either. So it was unexpected. And that kind of death always sucks more. I feel like
Oh,
when you're not
absolutely.
prepared for it, it's just a little bit harder, I think.
Yeah, it's shock.
Exactly. What about you, Sarah?
Well, mine, I feel like I probably brought this up many times, but right now it's the mess in my house with my toddler. I feel like I clean the room and then the toddler comes in and 5 minutes later, I might as well not have bothered. I even stopped David from cleaning earlier today. I'm like, the kid's just gonna come in and mess it up again. Why not just wait until he goes to bed? And he's like, but it's driving me nuts. I was like, he's just gonna make it worse. It's just gonna
That's
go right
true.
back. Which is
That's
exactly
true.
what the child did. He came back out of his room and then threw everything around again. It's like I said to him, I was like, we need to move so we have a playroom where I can close the door and I don't have to see it.
That doesn't help.
But at
It
least
does eventually
at
come
least I'm not
elsewhere.
sitting in it, I have like pillows all over the floor, I
Yeah.
have toys all over the floor. My living room looks like a bomb went off. But yeah, that's what's haunting me. Mary, what is haunting you?
Summerween is haunting me. A few weeks
Ooh.
back, almost like a month now, I found out that there was a whole new line at Michael's and a bunch of other locations that have summer-themed Halloween decor.
How did I miss this?
So,
I mean, I
like,
Yeah,
heard about
no.
Summerween, but I didn't know about these Halloween decor. Go on.
they have,
uh,
like, little ghosties in pool floats and, like, ghosties with a margarita and little skeletons that are wearing bathing suits. Like, it's just adorable, and I love everything about it.
My bank account doesn't love it, but I love it.
Right, exactly.
I need it all.
This is what's weird to me is because I feel like this is the first summer I'm hearing about this, and maybe because the stores are embracing it more is what I'm
I think
gathering.
I think that they're being forced to. Um,
Okay. Hey,
I think
sales.
they're trying some new things because a lot of stores are having a hard time, and because they see
Yeah.
that we like all the macabre things, and we are
Mhm.
uh, the old now. We're the demographic that spent. We
I
Yes,
don't
that
are.
want to
makes
call us
sense.
old. I'm going to call us nostalgic seekers. I am 45 years young. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, you are. Spring chicken right there. But no, I was gonna say, like, back my working at Sears days, I'm dating myself. I remember Halloween stuff came out at the same time as like back to school stuff. When people said Summerween, I'm like, what do you mean? Like they're just getting their Halloween stuff out at the normal time they get their Halloween
Mhm.
stuff out? Because
Right.
Christmas comes out in like beginning of September. So like,
I
Right.
feel like Halloween always goes by so fast. If you don't start decorating in September, if you start decorating in October, it's like you put your stuff
yeah,
up and then you have to take it right down. So you're right. Like a lot more people
Yeah.
are starting earlier, just like with Christmas, where a lot of people start on Thanksgiving. So yeah,
I think I'll have to do it. Well, I can't do my spooky Halloween stuff because I still have a small child who gets scared. But I'll do my cute Halloween stuff. He likes
there
that
you
stuff.
go. They have a whole line of like pink, cute stuff at Michael's right now, I think.
I love it. My
Speaking of
wallet
bank
doesn't need to
accounts,
hear
yeah, I
that
was gonna
though.
say.
Yes.
I literally just sat and made a
It's so cute.
budget earlier today, and I'm like, I'm
Sorry.
gonna stick to it.
Never mind, you
Sorry.
didn't hear me say that. Just erase that. It never happened.
Yeah. I don't know. It's already being tempted by Labubu, so
Oh,
True.
Lord. Yes. I think somebody up in marketing land realized that we really like Halloween, and so
Yes.
they're pushing it
oh yeah,
in any way they
Anything
can
that
get
they
it.
can
And
sell too, of course.
oh, of
you're
course.
not wrong.
But the fall
Yeah.
stuff is coming out. So I got to go to like a craft store today and just love on all of the autumn and stuff that's coming through. And I'm so excited. I got to plan some
That's
projects. It's
awesome.
going to be a fun time.
Very
So
cool.
exciting. I
Yes.
love it. Yeah, so let's go on to segment number 2. This is our paranormal deep dive, and we're continuing our haunted vacation series with our haunted destinations of the Northwest USA. Brooke, you want to take it away?
Sure. Yet again, another place to explore that looks interesting. And I picked, this is a name, McMenamins in Edgefield, Oregon, for this episode. It was built in 1911 as a poor farm, which, if you don't know already, were funded publicly, where underprivileged people would come to live and work. Food, shelter, and occasionally medical care would be traded for labor that kept the farm operating. It eventually got turned into a nursing home for the residents that were unable to leave. At least this particular location had been turned into one. Today, it is often listed as one of Oregon's most haunted locations. It is now a hotel and a brewery, among other things they have there, but has been used in the past as a training facility for police officers as well. I thought that was really interesting. From the sounds of it, there are a lot of buildings on the location that they've used for different things, at least from what I've gathered, having not been there in person. But I did watch a little video that someone was filming, and he was actually taking you through the hotel portion of it. So if it's something that interests people and they can't go there, there is some things you can look up to find for that as well. But even the officers apparently have some of their own tales to tell. The hotel is said to embrace the haunted history by having ghost logs for guests to fill out, which I thought was really neat. You just have to ask them to
That's cool.
see it. Yep. And then you can add to it, obviously, if you have your own tale to tell upon staying there. One
That's neat. I love when
person,
places do that.
me too. One person said that their butt was grabbed while they were taking a shower.
Nice.
Yeah, so a lot of people have actually said that they've been touched in some way. That was the only one that I thought was pretty funny. But
A frisky ghost. You know?
yeah,
Copping a
apparently.
feel.
And the hotel was just like, we apologize for that one. We don't really know what to tell you, but a lot of people say
They have no control over their ghosts. Like, come
no,
on.
I'm sorry, guys. If you're gonna stay there, it's a risk you take. But people feel like they're being watched. They've seen shadows, items moving, phantom smells, especially I saw a few that were like cologne and perfume smells, doorknobs jiggling. There's even been reports of guests seeing small children, catching them in photos and hearing their laughter, which I always find that to be very eerie. A child's voice
Children
or
are
laugh.
terrifying.
Yes, like you don't know where they
Children
are. That is
terrifying.
scary. The rooms have names and numbers associated with them. One of the most haunted is said to be room 215, where apparently there were animal bones and a pentagram were said to be there when the owners were renovating it. But I don't want to say too much more because guest stories can be found online, at least some of them. I don't think they have the whole list. So our listeners may want to read for themselves some of those stories. But the hotel has about 100 rooms. There's a hostel, a brewery, a spa, a gift shop, and an espresso bar. So I, for
Oh
one, would
yeah.
love to stay and take advantage of all this. My husband, I know, would love to stay. He loves espresso. So, hey, it's on site. There you go. He lives off the stuff. So I think that'd be a great location for us. What about all of you? Would you stay there?
That is a hell yes for me.
Yeah,
I don't
we should
necessarily
make
need the
plans.
brewery, but like
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
all
all
the
for
other
down for a
stuff, right?
spa, an espresso bar, gift shop,
Yeah,
That
ghosts.
like
all sounds like
everything. It sounds
amenities,
like
and that sounds pricey.
It's true.
right.
It
I
just
should
sounds
look. Before
that
we
sounds like
plan anything,
ka-ching,
I should
ka-ching,
look
ka-ching,
up. Yeah,
ka-ching.
that is true.
But yes, would I stay there? Yes, absolutely. Would I stay
Yeah,
there because it's haunted? No. Would I stay there because of the amenities? Absolutely.
there was really interesting paintings that can be found throughout too. So it's something that if you're going to stay there to look for, just really interesting artwork. I'll just say that too. And what about you, Sarah?
All right. So I found a cool one that I'm actually I had forgotten about, and I've found it and I was excited. It's in Washington State. It's the Monte Cristo Ghost Town. I figured I had to do this because there's just something that's unsettling about
Sounds
ghost
delicious.
towns. Yeah, there's something more than just like the silence and the decay. Aficionados of the paranormal say these abandoned places hum with a strange energy. So I was just really excited to find that there was one in the Northwest. So deep in Washington's Cascade Mountains, one ghost town continues to draw visitors, not just for its remarkably well-preserved structures, but for something else entirely. The Monte Cristo ghost town is not easy to reach. You'll need to hike an 8-mile round-trip trail from Barlow Pass through lush wilderness, yet those who make the journey say it's more than worth it. Monte Cristo was once the pride of the Washington Gold Rush, a booming mining town from 1889 to 1907. At its peak in 1894, more than 1,000 residents called it home, with tramways carrying silver and lead ore from surrounding mountain claims, including one peak that bears the town's name to this day. Prospectors came from far and wide, hiking across the Continental Divide, drawn by rumors of wealth traced from other dwindling camps. The town grew fast, but its fall came even faster. Fires consumed buildings, floods swept away the railroad, harsh winters made escape nearly impossible, and in 1920 an avalanche struck the final blow, and Monte Cristo was empty. For years, the site sat abandoned, weathering time and nature. Then, in the 1980s, a nonprofit, the Monte Cristo Preservation Association, stepped in to save what remained. Today, the town is protected and still very much haunted. Visitors report flickering lights near old mining equipment, faint voices calling from the forest, and most chillingly, eyes watching them from the tree line. One hiker swears he saw two miners in early 1900 gear peeking around the corner of the saloon before vanishing into thin air. Others have reported ghostly figures walking the town with lanterns and vintage hard hats, long dead prospectors still guarding their claims. But not all ghost towns live up to their name, but Monte Cristo might just exceed it. Investigators say abandoned buildings trap energy, remnants of history that attract spirits still tied to the land. Paranormal researchers feel something unusual here, a presence that's curious, not malicious, spirits that seem almost welcoming. But make no mistake, the haunting here is not just legend, it's lived. The town sits in surprisingly good condition, a frozen relic nestled in dense forest, and if you listen closely, you might catch the sound of footsteps behind you, or catch a glimmer of something just out of sight. So if you go, be prepared. Pack your gear, plan for an 8-mile hike, which does not sound like fun to me, so I might not ever make it there. And whatever you do, stay respectful, because this ghost town still has residents, just not the living kind. And then there was one other little place that I saw that I want to talk about. It's next to Seattle's funky Georgetown district. It's the Georgetown Castle. It's a bright orange Victorian house with a reputation darker than its paint suggests. So back in the day, Georgetown was Seattle's gambling and brothel hub. And this castle, rumor has it that a woman named Sarah met her end inside the house, and she never left. She's said to haunt the halls alongside Peter Gesner, the home's original owner, gambler, and blackjack dealer. People claim to see flickers of movement in the windows, but you can't go inside, it's private property. So if you're brave enough to sneak a peek, just, stay off the property, stand on the sidewalk, look at it from a distance, and maybe you'll see something peeking out. And yeah, so those were two places in Washington State that seemed really cool. I don't think I'll make it to the ghost town. I'm not much of a hiker. I don't love nature. I mean, I love nature, but from behind a window and away from bugs. So I don't know about
I
you
like nature
guys.
on a porch.
Yes, nature on a porch sounds lovely. What about you guys?
I'd do
Yes,
it.
I like a good hike.
I'd do it. I've been doing 5 miles at the park each day, almost.
Nice. I feel like hiking will be
But I
different
mean, it
though.
depends, might be, it's
Yeah.
probably more hilly, but I've done those too. But
I mean, I guess if the
I
trails
can
are
meander,
cut
I'm
and
fine.
good, I could do it. But if I'm going through like
yeah,
high grass, I'm absolutely terrified of ticks.
yeah, I hate those things too.
I don't think I could do it if it involves going through grass. But
Stockings.
I
Oh
know,
yeah.
but it's just never enough. But
I know, I don't like them either. I'm with you on that though.
yeah.
I'm still checking even on them in my yard or something because they're so
Oh,
disgusting.
I know, and I keep thinking I'm gonna have them where we live here because it's a little more woodsy, but I have not seen
Yeah,
nearly as many ticks here as I did where I used to live.
good.
Doesn't
That's
make any
really
sense to
good.
me, but I'm like, I'll take it. It's fine. All right, Mary, how about you go into your stories?
So the place that I did a little research on, and I say research very loosely because Google is my friend. I didn't like go anywhere and do any in-depth stuff, but Manresa Castle Hotel, it's in Townsend, Washington, and it is said to be haunted. There are two specific legends that people seem to talk about most. One is of a Jesuit priest who hung himself in the attic above room 302. One is yet again of a woman whose lost sailor. She was told he died, so she killed herself by hanging herself in room 306. And then later on, he came home. So very Romeo and
Oh, it's like
Juliet a
I
little
was
bit.
just about to
So
say, yep.
yeah, very Romeo and Juliet. Maybe hold off on the killing yourself until we know for sure, for sure.
Yeah, till you have a
Um,
body.
yeah, absolutely. The hotel, for me, the coolest thing was that they have the oldest working elevator,
That
which
is
is
cool.
just so cool. But of course, it was completed in 1892. They have a working elevator. These things make me think, what kind of electricity stuff are they working on? You know, what kind of building things were going on in the 1870s to the 1890s that could potentially make it feel more haunted than it actually is, which is interesting. There's also been talk of a child that was found in the crypt, but nobody knows who the child is. A housekeeper was she told a story about, I believe this is on Ghost Adventures. There was a show that did it. Hold on, I think it's Ghost Adventures. And in that video, as far as I could tell, because again, I didn't watch it because I Googled things.
Yeah.
I TikTok was my friend, not long form, very short form. But there was a housekeeper said that she got punched in the face and she had bruising on
Wow.
her leg that were the
Ooh.
size like a child-sized fist,
Ooh.
which is horrifying.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
there was another report of someone who had a service dog, and they said that their service dog was on high alert all night, looking at the
Hmm.
door and watching
Creepy.
out, which is not normal for a service dog. People that work there have said that clocks that are broken will sometimes work for a moment or two.
That's
Um,
neat.
yeah, radios come on by themselves. They hear footsteps, glasses break, or it was reported that some glasses turn upside down,
Ooh.
which is again really fascinating.
That is cool.
I like the turning upside down stuff because glass breaking is
Yeah.
like okay,
Yeah,
anybody
you
can
could
break
think
glass.
maybe it fell off,
Like
or, maybe
maybe
like
it
there was
fell
water on
off,
the
maybe
table,
someone
or yeah, like
right,
something jostled it. That'd
right,
be
but
cool to get
turning it
that on
upside
film,
down,
like it turning upside down. Yeah,
yeah.
that's neat.
Um, yeah, and people that work there said even if they've heard things or said whatever, they've always felt safe and they don't feel like anything evil is there.
Well, that's good.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
Only the housekeeper maybe doesn't agree with that.
Yeah,
But
apparently they don't like
then
that
again, how
housekeeper.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe they just weren't in there,
Maybe
or
she
maybe they
did
were cleaning
something,
something they didn't want them to touch. Mhm.
yeah, or yeah, messed with something, yeah.
Right. You never know.
That is true.
But yeah, it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, I like that. When there's stories of people who own haunted houses and oh, we're just gonna live with this ghost because they're sharing our space and they've never really done anything, so we've named them, and
Right.
it's kind of
Exactly.
interesting.
Like, "Oh, that's just Bob."
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Like, I
I don't
think
think they
about
ever
that.
called him
Would
Bob.
I be
They
able to do
probably
that?
called
I
him
mean, maybe.
I would, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm
All
deluded
right.
enough.
Yeah, I
In
guess
this
I could see,
economy,
like, from
yes,
what you've said, what I know about you. Yeah, I could see that.
I certainly would. Like,
It's
"Ugh,
like,
I woke
like,
up and all
stop.
the cabinet doors are open again. That's Bob."
Yes. Stop opening the cabinets at 3 a.m., Bob. Go back to bed.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Fold my
What's
laundry.
going on? Yeah, exactly. I have things you could do instead.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're
Hey, you
gonna throw
gotta.
dishes, if you're gonna turn them upside down, that means you can put them in the dishwasher.
That's right.
Just saying.
All right, so now it's time for segment number 3, our haunted headlines. Brooke, go ahead.
All right. Well, most recently, I've found it interesting that Dan Rivera, who worked with the New England Society for Paranormal Research, passed away while he was on tour with the allegedly haunted doll Annabelle. Now his death was undetermined pending his autopsy, but the police have said that it was not suspicious. Now, in one of our last episodes, we spoke about Gettysburg, and that was the location he was in when he passed away. I just think that was not it wasn't paranormal event, but I know that everybody's going to be talking about it, discussing it, and there's going to be a lot of theories in regards to it. Rest in peace, Dan. I think it's awful what happened. But what do you guys think? Do you think, going down the rabbit hole, it led me down to watch some older videos of the Warrens because they were his mentors. And most people know the Warrens through Amityville and Annabelle, of course.
Yeah.
So, it's just some big news right now, and just the circumstances being very interesting. I think everybody's gonna talk about
Right.
it.
Yeah, my thought went straight to, remember when we talked about the plantation that burned down? And that was tied to
Yes.
Annabelle as well. That's
Mhm.
where my brain immediately went to. Not that I'm saying either of them are paranormal. I am
Yeah.
not. But that's what I've been seeing in like the paranormal chatter is everyone's
Well,
making
and
that
now
connection.
when I watched, and that was the thing too. So, of course, you go down the rabbit hole, and I know I've seen things obviously in the past about the Warrens, and most people know about them that are into paranormal. And one of their old videos, they were talking about Annabelle, how they came across her, what had happened, and there was, the story behind her. Most people might know it was a nurse that owned the doll, and things started happening. She had a roommate. They started treating her like this little girl that they said was possibly the spirit that was in the doll, because a little girl had gotten unfortunately hit by a car. Now, of course, they believed it was a demon that was possessing the doll. It wouldn't be the little girl. It was fooling them. This is, the stories you hear if you look it up. But Mr. Warren was saying that there was a priest that had come over, and he was talking to the doll. He says, okay, well, God is more powerful than you. And he tossed the doll. And then apparently that same priest got into a car accident on his way home. He didn't pass away, thankfully. But Warren believed that anyone who, went against this doll or touched it, it seemed like these really unfortunate events were surrounding it, like you said, with the fire as well. So I did find that. I don't know what I believe in either, but it's just one of those interesting things to think about and look into a little bit.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't mess with it. I mean, I don't mess with Ouija boards. I've heard too many stories of them. I don't know what I believe. I know it's just a board game, but you don't know if it welcomes something in. I'm not
I
sure.
believe the
I
same
don't
thing. Yep.
personally want to mess with anything that I don't fully understand,
Yep.
or not knowing what actually exists. So that's where I stand on all
I
that.
agree. Yeah. What do you think, Mary?
Yeah.
I think from the reports of people who knew him, he sounded like a good person. He was fairly young. I mean, he was in his 50s, right? Not a
Yeah,
terribly
that's
old person. It
sad.
was very sudden. It's all awful. I feel for his family. I know he had kids, he was married. I feel for
Yes,
Yeah.
them. I'm
it's
sure
so awful.
I mean, it doesn't have to be
they're
paranormal.
going
Like
through the
people get
worst.
aneurysms
Yeah.
Right.
and you
Yep.
don't see it coming, and you could be young.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, I lost a half sister that way.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I
And
was
we
thinking.
can
It probably was some, just a fluke thing, and
right.
it's awful.
And I am interested, like they said that there was an autopsy and things like that and all that. The reason I'm glad that some of this comes up is because people will look into it. So if there was something where there was malpractice with medical care for him, if there was something else, that will come out. Did Annabelle do anything? Probably not. It doesn't really fit the MO.
I was listening to some of the one of the newscasters that was doing the story, and they were really respectful about it. And same thing, he was a father, he was somebody's son. This is awful, sudden, and it's just a horrible thing all the way around. So,
I agree.
Sarah, so what about you?
So the story I found, and I think I talked about this island in Venice in a different episode, Poveglia Island. So apparently it was just bought. So it was once, let me start from the beginning here. Starting on August 1st, the island, which has been known for plague pits, mass graves, and its grim stint as a 19th century mental asylum, will be leased for 99 years to a group of Venetians determined to claim it as an urban sanctuary. So the grassroots movement Poveglia per Tutti, Poveglia for Everyone, founded by activist Patrizia Velclani, rallied over 4,500 citizens and raised 460,000 euros to save the island from being sold to private developers. The vision of the group was to transform this sorrow-soaked space into a serene park preserved for local residents. The island's haunting legacy includes the burial of 160,000 plague victims, the eerie remnants of 15 crumbling hospital buildings, and tales popularized by ghost hunting shows. But for locals, it represents more than just folklore. It's a symbol of resistance against over-tourism and unchecked privatization. And as Veclani said, selling off such landmarks without public input feels like losing a piece of Venice's soul. So the restoration will be guided by scholars from the University of Verona, although Poveglia still lacks basics like electricity and running water. So while the ghosts might linger in legend, the real spirit haunting this island is now one of community and hope. While I am sad that it is going to be off limits to anyone not from Venice, I am glad that they're going to do something with it because it's just been off limits to everyone up until now and just been sitting there. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
think it's
think that is
smart
a
to
great
not
thing.
keep
Yeah.
tourists there.
Yeah.
Being a tourist myself and seeing other tourists, I think that's a smart plan.
Oh, great. I've
For
been
the
to
time
Venice.
being.
Absolutely.
It is overcrowded during, I'm assuming all times I was there during, I was in the fall, so I guess not high tourist season, but high enough that it was
Right.
pretty busy. So I think they absolutely deserve somewhere where no tourists can go. All right, Mary, do you have any news this week?
Got no news.
No news. All right, so let's move on to segment number 4, which is our listener mail / call for stories.
You got mail.
We are still waiting for your stories, people. Any and all. It doesn't have to be what we've talked about. We really love ghost stories, as you can tell. And so please, 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 please email us. Have you been to a haunted spot in the Pacific Northwest? Got a ghost story from Washington, Oregon, or any other Northwest state? We want to hear it. Email us at beyondupstatemps@gmail.com.
And that's it for this episode of Bumps in the Night, Ghosts, Ghouls, and Hauntings. Thanks for hanging out with us in the shadows, whether you're here for the scares, the stories, or just our charming voices. If you've got a haunted tale of your own, a weird headline you want us to check out, or a place you think we should feature, send it our way. You can find all our links, show notes, and contact info in the episode description or wherever you're listening. Don't forget to follow us on social media for behind-the-scene updates, sneak peeks, and all things spooky. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for Beyond Upstate Modern Paranormal Society on Facebook and Beyond Upstate Paranormal on Instagram. And if you're looking to rock some haunted merch, check out our shop. Links in the show notes. Please like and share our podcast with your friends. It keeps us going. Until next time, keep your lights on, your EMF readers charged, and remember, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Stay spooky, friends.